All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the lunchtime grind. Not really a grind, but today we're going to do a focus hour. It's not reels. I'm so sorry. We're not doing reels today. We're going to do content. Okay. And we're going to attack some objections publicly. I think it's so important for us to really talk about it publicly. And it kind of quiets down the noise when you're inviting people. They won't really object because you've already attacked it. Okay. And I know that there's a few that I've heard a lot, like it's too expensive or I can't do what you do. The one that I've been hearing lately is I'm not ready. And I'm like, what are you waiting for? Right. So I don't know if any of you have heard those, but we're going to talk about those. We'll do a couple. I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to keep this to an hour. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share. Where's my share screen? Oh, there it is, right in front of my nose. Okay, let me share screen because I have to keep myself on track with a Canva in front of me. If not, I'll ramble on over and over. Okay, so focus hour, we're going to be tackling objections publicly. But first, let's get our mindset right. Let's get into a place of where we can really stand in our power and really like post something powerful. I always think it's so important for us to have our vision in front of us. For those of you who are at the retreat, you know that vision was talked about nonstop, and that is what's going to give you your power. Okay. Especially right now when people are like, my husband talked to me the other day. He's like, there's another pivot going on, and people are kind of in a different, like they're kind of moving into something else. And, people want simple. People are feeling like they're like the world's kind of opening up. Well, at least the United States is kind of opening up. I know there's some states that are not open yet, but like there's a change happening. And so we really need to make sure that we are standing in our power and secure. And people are attracted to that. People want that security, that structure from you. So if you have that power in you, you're all in. So in the chat, we're going to use the chat and we're going to be very like back and forth. Please write your vision in the chat. Let's take a look at what it is your vision is, so we can really like be all in today. Okay. I'm going to kind of make this move over to the side here. So let's use this chat. Can I see the chat? Yes, I can see the chat. I'm going to open it and put it over here. Can you guys see the chat on my screen? No? Okay, good. Okay. All right. Share your visions with me. What's your vision? What do you want this business to do for you? Okay. What is your dream with this business? Don't be scared. I promise I won't hurt you. I won't bite. Awesome. Make my own schedule. Freedom, right? Absolutely. I'm all about freedom. I'm home. I was in the classroom for 15 years. I'm home. I still want freedom, right? I still want to be able to make decisions. I want to go on vacation without even thinking twice. Extra income. Awesome. I want to be able to make my $2. Love it. Okay. So we have visions and they have to be strong. We have to feel it here in our gut. We stand in that power. We know that nothing's going to stop us, right? We're unshakable. Yes. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I'm all about the freedom. Okay. So ready? Let's get real. Again, we're going to hone this in. There's a reason behind me doing this. Okay. You have your vision, right? But here's something else that's going to keep us to stand in our power. Are you proof the product works? If you are not proof the products work, how can you attack an objection to somebody? How can you even post something in confidence, right? And people feel that. People know when it's BS, when you just kind of bringing something out into the world and saying, oh, let me try this. Or if you copy paste it from somebody else, people know who you are, right? Because you're showing up. Are you on an HD product? Are you 100% all in with our products? Are you drinking a Shakeol? Are you using, anything that's HD, especially Shakeology? If we're talking about like people talking about how expensive this is, we're going to talk about why Shakeology is not expensive. Okay. Are you using BOD and are you showing it? Are you showing people that, yes, I'm using my fitness programs? We don't want to confuse our audience, right? We have the total solution. Do you attend the National Wake Up Call live or do you listen to the recording? I ask this because those trainings are going to help you with these objections. Those trainings are going to fill you. And what you're putting in here is what's going to come out. Okay. Are you attending your team call live or listening to the recording? Again, your coaches spend time coming up with content and information that's only there to help you and to stand. I'm going to say stand in your power a lot today. So it's a good thing we're not taking shots while we say that, right? Okay. Do you attend your team call? And have you finished a personal development book this year? Have you? I finally finished mine. I did Jay Shetty, but I took my time. I wrote notes. I took my time. So now I have another one. I have Mr. McConaughey, who's next on my list. I don't know. Apparently, I hear that I'm supposed to listen to it. It's a lot better listening to it. Okay. So now that we've gotten real and you've either said yes or no to these things, right? Because if you are doing all of these things, that means you are doing all the things that's going to take you, is going to make that vision of yours come true. Awesome. Ed Milet. Oh, is it good, Marie? Yeah. Okay. I love him. He's so like, he's this like, he looks like a big teddy bear. Like he can attack you, but he's like soft and, right? Okay. Awesome. Okay, good. Because his voice is so hot. Yes, this is true, Amy. Yeah, I know McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. All right.
I think it make my husband move. When we listen that Max Out, he's working out every single day. So
Really?
it teaches you how to move out and it max out your confidence. So it's really good.
Like it. Okay, I have to write that down. Maxed out. Okay, awesome. All right. So now that we have all of this, we have this, our vision in the forefront. We know that we are proof the product works. We're using BOD. We're doing our PD. We're doing exactly what we need to do. Let's talk about these objections. Okay. And I'm going to have to share a screen. I'm going to have to get into my Instagram account because I couldn't copy paste posts that I found. Okay. So how many of you have heard it's too expensive? I'm like, what? How many of you have heard I'm not ready? I've been hearing that a lot lately. I don't get that. I don't understand. What are we waiting for? And I can't do what you do. So these are the three that I've heard a lot of. Okay, good. So I feel like we're all on the same page. Let me go into my Instagram because I want to show you how I'm attacking these objections publicly. Just so people can see it's not a secret what I'm doing. It's not, crazy or anything. So I think this is going to work. I made a little collection of posts. Let me move this all out of the way. All right. And I saved other people's because I think it's just so important for us to see how everybody else does it. Obviously the master Christina Delgado, let's just be real. So it's too expensive. I don't remember what each of these say. I apologize. I couldn't organize it in a way. Obviously this is a Shakeology one. So, okay, perfect. It's too expensive. Let's talk about this one. I posted this because I think it was Kara who posted this a while back. Obviously this is 2019. I have to start talking about Shakeology a lot more. This opened my eyes to what I'm not talking about on my posts. So she had posted a receipt of somebody buying like a bowl or a raw juice, or even my husband was super obsessed with the acai bowls over there. And I was like, why are we paying $16 for these things? We can make it at home for less than that, So, but people like were racing to raw juice for these bowls, $15 for a bowl. Okay. And it doesn't have everything that Shakeology has at all. Okay. Our shake costs $4 a day. We have all the superfoods. And I went into the nitty gritty here. I talked about it. Okay. Yeah, I poop daily. Thank you, Shakeology, right? My digestion is working well. How about you? Are you going daily? I go all in, right? I'm going to ask those questions because there are women out there that don't use the restroom on a daily basis. And that's not good, guys. That hurts, right? I have GI issues. My hair, my nails are great. I don't crave junk. I'm educating people. Cravings happen because you're missing certain vitamins and nutrients, and it saves me money. I can't have like 6 acai bowls equals 30 servings of Shakeology. Like you got to do the math too. So I hit a whole bunch of different things. I went comedic. Number one, I'm talking about poop, right? I'm talking about the things that benefit me, right? I'm going to the bathroom daily. My hair is fantastic. My nails are good. My skin is clear. My GI issues are gone. Okay. I'm talking about how it helps me. I didn't list all 72 different minerals and vitamins. I have no idea what they are. I just know that it makes me feel good. Okay. So when someone tells me that a shake is expensive at $4, but grabs a $15 acai bowl, I'm having a hard time understanding the math. So I got a little sassy, but sometimes you gotta be sassy. A lot of people are like, okay, I'm not paying that much. The problem is they look at the price. They look at the $129.95 and they completely freak out. But if you ask them to collect all their Starbucks receipts together or add it all together, I can almost guarantee it's double or triple that number, right? Okay, so I think I'm not sure. I'm kind of like unorganized in my brain right now just because I couldn't do my slides. I don't know if you guys want to do a Shakeology objection post yourself. Obviously, you can take from my post, obviously make it yourself. Don't take it, straight from there. Energize. Energize is my mom crack. It's the best thing ever. You can take from my post, or we can go to another objection, see how we attack that, and then we can take some time today to kind of outline posts for you. So you at least have 3 posts today. What do you guys, I want to make it more of a workshop type of thing. And just, I want to work with how you want, what works best for you guys. Do you want me to show you a couple more examples and then you guys have ideas? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me move. I'm trying to look at the chat and look at this too. Now, how do I exit it out of this? Okay. Here's one that I remember doing. I can never do what you do. I can't do what you do. Okay. And this, I had to really dig deep. Some of these you have to dig deep, right? And you have to really think about where you were before, what it was that was holding you back, right? Because that's the important part. What was holding you back from starting? And then what changed for you? What made you say, well, maybe I can? And then what made you stay? And why are you still here? Okay, so you're kind of telling a story. So here is, I never thought I could do what they did. You probably said the same thing to yourself. I'm not fit enough. I don't have experience. I don't know many people. I don't have the time. Sound familiar? I think as we grow into adulthood, we're taught to live in the box. You should have this kind of education, job, house, life, the status quo. What happens when we decide to quiet that noise and step out of the box to do something different? So many people are afraid to step out of that box. I was for so many years. I was 100%. I was a teacher. It's like I was literally in a box. Okay. I thought I'd be back to the classroom after my mom passed away, but God had other plans. The year I took off to take care of my mom revealed to us that having me home was actually amazing for our household. Everything ran smoothly in spite of the extra stress that came with taking care of my mom. It just worked. I tell stories. If you read my posts, I'm a storyteller. Okay. So together we decided that I'd go full time. This is a longer one. Okay. With this coaching gig and live out of the box. I'm able to run my business from my laptop anywhere I please with my furry supervisor always close by, of course. I'm still surrounded by an amazing community of women who encourage me to work hard to achieve my goals. I'm still contributing to our household finances, and I'm 100% present with my family. So at the end, I have a call to action for my sneak peek, okay? I have a sneak peek coming Wednesday, actually, for my team. I think it's this Wednesday or maybe next week. I forget. And this is a great one because it attacks things that people are afraid of. They're afraid to do something different. They're afraid of what's going to happen if they step out of what they know. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. And anything that's different is dangerous to our brain. I mean, we know that coaching is not dangerous, but our brain thinks it's dangerous. Okay. So that's an example of, I can't do what you do. So you see, I tell my story of, I never thought I could do what other people do, right? And then I kind of just process what people are processing. At least that's what I think people are processing. And then I go back into why it's working or why it'll work for me, okay? Man, it's crazy what women can do. We are freaking rock stars, the amount of things that we do. I'm home right now and I still think of how it is that I was able to do it all, teaching full time and then the second shift. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Yes. Feel, felt, found, right? So I felt this way. This is where I'm at. And this is what's going on. And you can have it too. We always want to remind them you can do it too. Okay. And then what's another one? What's the other one that I said, guys? I don't remember. This thing is in my way. This menu, hold on a second. Let me go back to my focus hour. I can't do what you do. So I can't do what you do. All right, here's another one. I'm not ready. Here's a Shakeology one. If you don't know my story, I was the one that said, do I have to drink the Shako? That was me. I was horrible and I made fun of it and I thought people were insane. I publicly denounced it. Like I thought it was the stupidest thing. Okay. And finally, if you see here, week 4, I was like, okay, maybe I should probably drink Shako because everybody in the group was losing weight. I was not. Everybody had all this energy and they felt so great. And I was like, man, guys, I'm exhausted. I'm, following the meal plan and I don't feel as good as you do. So I finally caved in. And I'm not stupid. I signed up with the coach discount, but I told my coach, I told Christina Delgado, don't talk to me about the business opportunity. I was a fun one. And look, and I have this picture and I took this picture at week 4 because I wanted to disprove Shakeology. That's how fun I was. And look who look who lost that whole proof, right? So when people ask me if they have to drink the Shakeology, I have zero issues with saying, absolutely, you need to drink Shakeology. And here is the proof. This is why. Because this is how I felt before. I decided to disprove it. I tell them my story. And look what happened. I actually lost weight. Okay. So here is my story publicly. Okay. And I tried to keep it a little short. Okay. Again, I talked about my daily poops. Guys, that's just me. Welcome to my world. I talked about it. Without Shakeology, I ended up gaining weight. I actually did. When I purchased it, I tried to disprove it, and the joke was on me, right? It actually worked. I felt energized. I felt good. My digestion was working. I have issues with my GI tract. My gallbladder was removed in like 2010. So I had issues, and Shakeology is the one thing that finally gave me that ease in my gut. So yes, I tell my people, trust this process. Yes, you need to drink the shake. Just give it 30 days. And I promise you, you'll understand why you need to drink it. Okay. And you want to go all in. Okay. Is this good? Is this helpful? Seeing these posts? Okay, good. All right. I don't want to bore you with like 1,000,001 posts. Let me see. Here's one about taking action. That you're not ready. Right. And so many people are just not ready. But what are you waiting for? Like, I remember people saying, you're never going to be ready to have kids. And it's true. Like my husband and I weren't trying for kids, and both my kids were like, oh crap. Okay, we're doing this, right? We weren't ready, but we did it. We had no choice but to raise our kids, right? So this was back in July. 2020 has been quite the year. I'm sure we can all agree with that, right? It was kind of crazy. So have you taken advantage of the plot twist, or have you been wishing for things to get back to normal? A lot of people were just sitting and waiting and not taking advantage of this extra time to do something, right? And I think they're kind of in the same place right now. Like Moira Kusaba, I think it was Moira who talked about thinking. The thinking paralyzes you. If you keep thinking and saying, okay, well, I got to think about it, or I got to wait, or I got to, I'm not sure yet. I don't feel ready. Thinking is what's paralyzing you. You just need to go all in. Okay. So you got to stop wishing, and you just got to start doing. I try to tap into things that I was objecting, or how I was objecting the opportunity, how I didn't want anything to do with the shake. All the problems that I had, but I wasn't willing to do what I needed to do to fix them. Okay, is that cool? Do we have a good idea of what to do with the posts? Yes, no, yes, no. Okay. So why don't we let's look at the queen. Let's look at Christina Delgado. Okay. Here's one about wanting more, but I know a lot of people have told me that they've wanted more, but they just don't think they can do what we can do, right? There's doubt, and she's speaking to this exactly, right? Or they can't afford it. It's too expensive. So she's hitting two things here. Okay. If you feel a tug in your heart that you deserve more, that you're made for more, fully capable of living your best life, you're right. All of this is mindset. So what we're doing is we're feeding belief into people through our posts while attacking that objection. Does that make sense? Okay. So she talks about where she's been before, where she had to kind of decide what she was going to do with her max credit cards and how she was going to shuffle her money. And I can understand that. I mean, this house that I'm sitting in, back in the crash of like 2009 was under foreclosure. I understand what it is to be in a place of, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right. So we learned from that we never wanted to be in that space again. So my husband and I are insane about our budget, and we are insane about doing whatever we can to bring income into the home. So I can totally relate to Christina's post here. Okay. So you want to tap into those things. Again, make it personal, make it yours. Maybe you don't have a struggle financially, but can you imagine what would you do if you were in that position? Would you sit there and say, oh my God, I got to wait. I got to do this. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe for a little while. I think we're all action takers, right? We do enough PD to know that we got to take action. But can you put yourself in the position of the woman that you want to help? Maybe there's somebody who wants to get out of debt. Maybe there's a woman that needs this community, right? And decides, okay, well, maybe I can because there's other women that are supporting. Okay. Is that cool? Are we good? All right. So let's take some time to do, let's work on one. I don't want to take too much time. I don't want this to be super, super long. Let's do one of the attacking objections. I don't know which one do you want to do? Do you want to just choose your own? I'm not going to force you to do one. I was going to model one, but you see how great and prepared I was for this. Okay, here are the three different ones. Too expensive, I'm not ready, and I can't do what you do. You can unmute if you have questions, if you want to share what you're posting, if you want to know what it is that you need to add to your post, we're here. Let me know. Does this work for you guys? Yes? Okay, this is like a workshop, so we're getting the work in, okay? Tap into your why, tap into whatever it is that, and be bold. That's what people need. They need us to be bold. It's not too expensive. Stop buying the Starbucks. Drink a shake that's going to make you feel better than the Starbucks. And I can't put music on. I'm sorry. YouTube will completely mute us, so I can't put music.
Christina.
Dime.
So, when we talk about like inviting for a sneak peek, inviting to the business. Mm-hmm. So I always have this struggle because I'm still working full time.
Okay.
I'm not looking to leave my full time. Like okay. I do love what I do. I love both.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? So I always struggle how to word it because every post that I see to kind of get like the right frame of mind is talking about leaving and it's talking about replacing and it's talking about staying home. Mm-hmm. And some of us don't want to.
Right. Absolutely. And there's plenty of coaches that are still working their full-time job. I mean, we have Lori Model, for example, who's still practicing medicine and she loves that. That's her passion. What I would say to that is because when I first started, I didn't want to leave the classroom either. It's just eventually I was like, I don't need to be doing this anymore. Right. And my mom being diagnosed with cancer is what catapulted me, was what kind of forced me out of that nest, right? So I don't think you need to speak about the opportunity in a way that the outcome is that you're going to retire from your job. You can talk about having both of them, that you love your job, but you also find your purpose in helping other women transform their lives. Because one thing is your job is fulfilling one space in your life, and that brings you joy and fulfillment. But maybe your purpose is also in helping women transform their life, whether it just be a physical transformation, or maybe you have women that come to you and say, I really need to be home with my kids, or I want to retire. And I can't retire yet unless I have another income that's, this is a residual income. Once you start growing this business, it's residual. Yes, you're putting work in, but it's a residual income. Does that help a little bit? Jay Shetty talked about that. He says, you can have your job. You can be an accountant and you love the numbers and you're awesome at it, but it's not fulfilling this one little piece of your purpose. Mm-hmm. And so he talks about that. It's your dharma, I think I want to say, but he says, okay, but maybe helping people, loving on people, really embracing people, creating that community and that team through fitness and health. That's what's really fulfilling you. That's the missing link between the two of them. So if you can come out that way to people, and I know a lot of people worry about their full-time jobs and if their boss is following them, or, what are people thinking? Are you thinking about leaving? And, things like that. So I think if you tie both together, your purpose and your I don't know, what you're awesome at, you know, you tie those two together and you can talk about how you're still fulfilled in your job, but you're finding real purpose in helping other women improve their life. So that's the angle I would take.
Mhm. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other questions I can help you with? Any ideas with posts?
I have another one. I'm sorry.
Talk to me.
So another objection, which is, it blows my mind, but it's just so weird, where they're saying, I don't have the space. Because I do talk to a lot of women who live in apartments, because I live up north. So they're constantly saying, I don't have the space. I can't really work out in my room. Either they live with other family members, so they don't have it. So I literally have recorded videos of me like in small spaces and areas to show them that it's possible.
Yeah.
But like, what would be another way of kind of saying that?
Aside from saying that's absolute BS.
I know. I know.
Yes. No. So I've had people take pictures of spaces for me to show me. Hey, can you show me a space where you think you might be able to? I'm sure you have something in mind. Can you show me? You know, I mean, if this is a conversation that you guys are having together, is my assumption, not a post.
Right,
but
right.
you know, yeah, I would have them take a picture of different areas. Show me a picture of your living room. Show me a picture of, I mean, we have people working out in their front foyer, you know. I have a coach who's working out in her hallway with the track. So, you know, maybe they're embarrassed to work out in front of family members and they could be using that space as an excuse. I have coaches who have small bedrooms, like master bedrooms, and they use the edges of around their bed to work out. You really don't need a lot of space. I mean, you really don't. I mean, when we're thinking about it, I mean, like, what? A 2x4 space is probably all you need to get a good workout in. You just have to turn side to side. So I asked them to take a picture. What space do you think you'd want if you could? What space were you looking at? Can you move a coffee table? Can you move something around? Can you move the couch?
Yeah, I think it's more like you touched upon it. I have a feeling, I'm thinking of two particular women. I have a feeling it's more the objection if they don't want to work out in front of anyone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, if she mentioned, I live with a lot of family members, say, are you opposed to working out in front of your family? Do you think your family can give you 30 minutes of time that you can work out by yourself? Because it could be deeper than that. It could be that they've seen her do it before and they make fun of her. I mean,
Right.
we can't, you know, we have to assume, I assume the worst too, because I want to make sure to help them. But it could be that. I mean, we've had coaches tell us that their husbands would sit on the couch and eat potato chips while they worked out and make fun of them, you know, and, you know, and now they're completely turned around and they're like, oh, just kidding. You know, I totally believe, you know? So that's a confidence thing, perhaps. And you have to breathe life into her for sure. Life and belief. 100%. Another thing when we're talking objections and you're posting about objections publicly is you really want to hone in to the person that you were. Who were you when you were being invited to join? Where were you in your life at that point? What was it that you were doing that you thought was working, but really wasn't? You know, when you dig deep into that space, I think there's a lot of influence and inspiration that comes from there because you are on the other side. You know, you are now that future self that you had seen back then. Does that make sense? Okay, cool.
Hi, Christina.
Talk to me.
How would you go back to people that literally told you they're not interested, or nah, I love my gym, but they still watch you? So obviously they watch you because there's something
Yeah.
makes them interesting. So what my question is, they already told you no or not, I don't want it, but they still watch you. So how would you talk to them again, like to get into them, open the conversation? That's what I mean. Like,
So my fear, my thought process is I'm going to invite you until you tell me to go to hell or unfollow me. Well, not really go to hell, but until you're like done with me, you block me. I'm inviting you until you say yes, or it's like, you need to leave me alone. You're harassing me, which I really don't. Okay. So I always come back and say, hey, so-and-so, I know the last time we spoke, you were really committed to your gym workouts, but I wanted to come back around and see if you were interested in joining me for XYZ program that's going on. Or if they're sold out completely to their gym, how's their nutrition? What's their nutrition? We have two amazing nutrition programs that they can jump into. They don't necessarily have to have the bod. We obviously love Beachbody On Demand. It's phenomenal, right? We know it works. I used to be a gym rat. I'm so glad I'm not in the gym nowadays. Like, I was a gym rat pre like Instagram and Facebook before it was really big and people were recording people working out. Like, I can't even imagine like that I would be so worried about somebody filming me doing something wrong. Because that's just not right. Number one, I'm just not like that, right? So I was a gym rat. For me, spending 2 hours in the gym and having my kids in the daycare thing wasn't working for my family, right? So what's their nutrition like? How is the gym working out for them? Always circle back. Hey, how's the gym working out for you? How's your routine working? I have a group starting on the 15th. I thought about you. I would love to have you in that group. And if they say I'm not interested, hey, no problem. Or they're really focused on their program right now, hey, no problem. Can I circle back to you in a few months for my next group? I always ask for permission before I finish that conversation.
oh, that's help. Thank you. Yeah, I think
That helps. Okay. I always go, if they're really focused on their gym workouts, because that's fine. There isn't just one way to get your fitness, right? We have coaches that have Pelotons. They love their bikes. Now they're going to get what is it? This new bike that Beachbody is going to be promoting. So, they're going to have to make space for that. But anyway, there's no one way to get your fitness on, but we know our nutrition works. We know people need Shakeology. We know people need Energize and Recover. There is always something that you can help that person with. Don't get so like narrow-minded in just the challenge pack with some people and introduce them to a product. I can start somebody with Energize and they love the Energize so much. Hey, you know what? I've been seeing that you've been showing your stories of your girls are getting some really great results. What are they doing? That starts the conversation. So maybe this gym rat needs a pre and post workout. Sell them a performance stack. There's Success Club 2, babe, right there. Right? So does that help? Yeah. Instead of going to GNC, get the clean stuff. We have plant-based. We don't have stuff that's chemically whatever. Like I don't know. The C4, I hear horror stories of this pre-workout. I don't know. I've never used it, so I don't know.
Let me tell you, C4 sent me to the ED, like tachycardia, like it was bad, bad. And I gave up, like, I'm never drinking a pre-workout again. It was the worst experience ever. Even like when I first, like when Monica was trying to tell me Energize, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't do those things because I had such a horrible experience. And so I finally like sat down, I read the labels and I just gave up the preconceived notion and experience I had.
Yeah.
And then, Energize is life now, but
of course
it was just all crap. Like I looked at the tubs of, the C4 and Energize and there's no comparison, like no comparison.
There isn't.
I hear C4 and I cringe. I'm like, oh my God, no, don't tell me you're drinking that shit.
I've never tried C4, but I've tried other stuff, and it's just like this. My heart, and I'm like, oh my God, my heart would palpitate. So I know with Energize, I just feel the tingles and I'm ready to go. So your gym rats can still use Shakeology nutrition, because we have the Nutrition Plus app. I mean, how much broccoli and chicken can one eat? You know what I mean? People need creative recipes. Performance stack. So many things.
To that note, I have a friend of mine who her husband drinks like 3 or 4 monsters a day, and I'm anti all of that stuff. Like, I've never liked it. I'm like, just try to Energize, see if it works. He ended up liking it, and he uses that. He's cut back all his Monster. He just uses Energize.
Yes, and Monster, I think it's Monster or
It's
Bang
horrible.
or Boom, or I don't know what it's called.
All
Obviously, I'm not educated in those drinks. Yeah, they're really bad, especially if you're not hydrating. I used to work for Red Bull back in the day. Like, I was like 18, 19, and people would get sick because they drink too much of it without hydrating. So, I mean, they're great and everything for their purpose, but if you're not hydrated and you don't know how to really truly drink it responsibly, yeah, you're gonna get really sick. So
I guess maybe I'm bad because some people because I'm addicted. Okay, so I'm a pretty girl. I'm a mom. I like to be go.
yes,
I guess I'm sorry. I always tell my people is you're gonna get sick because you're not used to.
yeah.
Get it? I used to want to throw up, but now look at me. I can drink 3 times a day. It's like nothing.
What, the Energize? The Energize?
Yeah. So I guess I always tell them, hey, you're gonna feel sick because your body's what the hell you put in your body right now? What the hell? You never get that hype, you know? So
Yeah.
I always tell my people, you are going to get sick.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So I guess I'm crazy girl out there that want to encourage people to drink it. Because for me, I think it pushes us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's make you sweat. I think I believe it. I think it's make us sweat twice.
Yeah, no, Energize. I don't know. Energize is life. That's all I have to
A
say.
crack. That's what my husband said. It's a crack.
It's the mom crack. It's the mom crack. Ah. All right. Any other objections you guys have? Maybe we can talk about objections that you're getting and you're not really sure how to face it. And I always think it's a good idea to face those objections publicly. Hey, I just talked about that just now, you know, or somebody's going to say, oh my gosh, I don't have time. Oh my gosh, did you just see my last post about not having enough time? You know, keep the conversation going. Or I used to feel that way too. I used to feel that way that I didn't have enough time. And then I found time in the morning, 20 minutes a day with Shanti, T25. I'm one of the oldies back in 2013. Made it happen in my little space in my garage. So yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Okay, Peyton left already, an additional stream of income. Okay, I'm looking at all the comments. Yeah, it's an additional stream of income. Myra, I don't know if you saw the comments, but Adri had mentioned that also. You know, some people need to make ends meet also. They need to keep their job, or maybe they want vacation money, or maybe they're paying off debt. You know, I know Ali Upham right now is talking to women. Her focus right now is speaking to women who want to pay off debt. So that is who she's speaking to in her stories, in her posts. That is who she's directing her information to. So it could be that you can have a great job and still are in debt and still need help with that, you know, and this is a great way to do that. And it's fun. And you have cool people around you. The Shakeology objection still pops up, but I need to speak more about the benefits like you shared early. Yeah. I noticed that when I was getting the Shakeology objections of, oh my gosh, it's too expensive. And, oh, I don't drink protein shakes. I'm like, are you protein deficient? Like, I'm not asking you to put more protein in your body. Like, or I already drink one, or I always end up saying, oh, I'm not talking about Shako enough. So I talk about all the benefits. I'm not going to talk about the ashwagandha and the camu camu and I don't know what else is in there, all the different things. Because I don't know anything about it. That's Darren. That is Darren. If they want all the science, I'm going to send them off to Darren, right? For me, I'm just going to tell you why I love it, why it works for me. I don't know what's in it. I know it's good for me. I know it's like grown in beautiful places that I want to go visit one day. And it's working for me. You know, I can send you the science on it, but I don't know the science behind it. I just know it makes me feel good. So yeah. All right. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Are there any other questions or any other objections you might be dealing with that I can help you with? Obviously, you can message me as well. I'm available to you guys, without a problem. No? We good?
One more time before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I attend a lot of things like this. They always said don't mention so much about Shaco. So, but do you name Shaco every time you talk about your protein shake? Because some people recommend say don't do it, don't mention it, because people can just get into the website, or you want them to come to you. So I don't. That's what I said. It seems like everybody different.
Yeah. So there's some people that believe in curiosity marketing. They're not going to show you the beach body. They're not going to show you Shaco. They're not going to show you the front of Energize. They just want it to be a mystery. Me personally, I don't believe in curiosity marketing. I'm going to tell you, this is Shaco. This is what's changed my life. This is my mom crack. It's called Energize. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm on Beachbody On Demand. I'm doing a program called 9-Week Control Freak. That's me personally. I don't want to hide what I'm doing. And if you're going to go and Google it, that's fine. That means I'm not doing my job of educating you in my stories or in my posts. So it means I just have to step up my game, right? So for me, I'm not fearful of that. And I was such a Shakeology skeptic that I know, people are going to go and do their research, but if I've already built a relationship with them, or they're like already sold out to me and what I'm doing, they're going to come to me and ask me, hey, what's this? Or what's that? Or, hey, did you know that there's this report on this? And I've had that happen to me. And if people are not interested in joining because they went to Google and saw somebody's hate post about it, they're not ready for it. They're too easily molded. I want them to talk to me, somebody who's experienced it and actually loves it and has had great benefits. There's people who are going to do the research. I was one of them. I did all the research. I'm telling you, I was a horrible, terrible Shakeology skeptic. I was terrible. And I've been turned around completely. So it can happen. So, and it's up to you. Whatever. Yeah, we do make the best coaches. The skeptics make the best coaches. This is very true. Because we know how to respond to the objection. Because we were the objection. But yeah, but Marie, it's up to you what you want to do. It's what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to do curiosity marketing, I'll talk about my superfood shake here and there in my posts, in my stories. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have my tropical strawberry Shakeology now. I talk about it. I don't hide it.
Thank you about that. That's the way I think about it. But when you're a new coaches, they train you. I go to the train. That's what they teach us.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's why I'm like, well, why hide it? That's the way I think. But at the same time, they have a good point at the same time. So for a new coaches like me, you're like computer. I say, should I do this? Or why she said this?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of confusion. But now I start thinking about, you know what? Do you?
I was just going to say, it's follow your gut. What is your gut telling you? Your gut is always going to tell you and give you the right answer. Always say, okay, does this feel good? If it doesn't feel good, I always feel it in my body. If it doesn't feel good in my body, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I think because when I started, I was blooming and then I dropped, and that's what I was going through. I don't know if some of you all done now. I'm sure you guys all have, but I think what I learned on my mistake it's just like being fake. Like who cares? Like tell the truth. Yeah, that's what I think. Now I'm learning that, and now I'm start showing it more. Like why I'm worried about it.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, when you show up as your real self, authentic, you're sharing your journey from a good place from your heart. People know that, and people are attracted to that, and they're going to follow you, and they're going to join you. It's just about consistency and patience. I've been in this business for 7 years, so just keep showing up.
I'm so happy that you said that, because I'm beating myself. I say, hey, I'm not even 1 year. I mean, But such a competitor. But I have to remind myself, I'm failing myself because I'm doubting myself, because I'm trying to race when it's not a race, Yeah, thanks for telling me that. I kept hearing that. I'm 7 years, 10 years. Yeah, who I am. I'm only starting. What the hell,
Just keep showing up. I can honestly tell you, in my 7 years in, there are people that have been watching me for years, like 3-4 years, that are like, okay, I've been watching you for 3 or 4 years. I'm ready to join you. I'm like, oh, hallelujah, finally, right? If I had quit 3 or 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to help them. My mother-in-law has watched me all this time, 7 years, and she finally decided to jump into Shakeology. She has never felt better. Imagine if I quit. So I always think about, okay, there are people that I haven't even spoken to yet that need me. And I have to stick to this. I have to keep going. I have to be consistent and keep showing up, because those people they're going to find me and I'm going to find them. So yeah, just keep going. This business is hard because you're dealing with human beings, you're dealing with emotion. It's very hard, and you go up and down and up and down and up and down. But don't tie yourself to the emotion. I mean, don't tie emotion to the result. Just go out there and find your people. And when they say yes and they're in your group, that's when you get tied to them emotionally, because you want to help them. They become family.
Max out. I told you the Ed Milet, it has opened.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I definitely have to get that. Let me write that down, because
we talk about like failure, like he fell a couple times, millionaire down to $0 again. And I was like, I said, well,
that's part of it. That's part of it. You'll hear all these top coaches talking about how much they failed. The more you fail, the more success you're going to find. And that's something that hit me, because I don't like to fail. I don't like to hear the no. I don't, right? I don't know that anybody really does. But if you start really going in and you're like, okay, just be okay with the no, just be okay with the failure, just be okay with the inactive, be okay with the coach that quit. The more failures, the more success you're going to have. So good. All right. Are we good? Yes. Was this helpful? I hope so. I know it was kind of all over the place, but there's ideas out there. Make it your own. Make it your own. Let me stop my share so I can see everybody. That's better. All right, let's take a picture, shall we? All right, let's take a picture. And then actually, let me stop recording. Let me stop recording. Okay, that is the end of the presentation.